Cash. We're going to pray for him, for his soul, for his family, especially his wife and children. Our hearts are also heavy because we learned with great sadness of the death of former State Representative Roy Ottoman, a District 2 resident, and I must say our most active resident. Hardly a week passed that he wasn't there in our office offering his services. Our hearts go out to his family, especially the children, our own Commissioner Keon Hardeman, and the whole family. Let's keep them in our hearts and mind, and then think about them while we stay for a few minutes in silent prayers, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now I'd like to open up space for the public to speak. I have a few cards. I'm encouraging each and every one of you to speak on the items that you signed up for. When I call your name, please move forward, and you have 2 minutes to speak. And then be sure to stay and speak on the item that you signed up for. The first person I'm going to call is Bernadette Andrews. Bernadette Andrews. Is she able to come? We can also, okay.
Bring a mic to you?
We could also bring the mic to her. Oh, she's coming.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
I was here earlier part in this year or last year seeking to get a home because I'm homeless. So I'm trying again to see if I could really get any help to get me a home because I'm stayed by someone and I had a stroke before. That's my speech is not too good. So I wish that I could get help because I signed up by running this center, the Integral, to get an apartment. But when I went there, the girl was very abusive to me. So I said I'm not going to go back there because she was very disrespectful to me. And she started telling me if she do give me a home, I will have to pay the amount of money a place is renting for 15 and 16,000 for a 1-bedroom, and I am not getting that amount in social security. So the place is really a senior place, is why I went there. So I am.
Thank you, ma'am. Is Vicky in the room? Can you please assist Miss Andrews? Miss Andrews, I have someone who's going to be talking to you now. Thank you so much. Do you want her? Do you want her to stay where she is, or Vicky? Thank you so much. Miss Uralda Davis. Miss Davis. I hope I pronounced your name. Good afternoon. Please come to the mic. State your name and address for the records.
Yolanda Davis, 6336 Northwest 24th Place. 24th, yes, 24th Place. I was the pretending council.
Miss Davis, I have a different address here.
What address you have?
6540 Northwest 20th Avenue. Is this your correct address?
No, that's not my address.
Okay, please state your address again, please.
6336 Northwest 24th Place.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm here because of the homelessness that's in our area. We have, I don't get no sleep. I have sleep apnea, and I don't get no sleep. I have to get up out of my sleep and tell them, sir, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all holding conversations by my bedroom window. They have access to, they can walk in and out. That's the only problem, but there's no drugs being sold there, nothing. We got that out. It's just the problems with the drug addicts walk in and out of Jolivet. And there's no help. There's no help. The police see them. They don't do nothing.
Ma'am, you did sign to speak on 2B. Do you have any information you need?
2B.
If not, I can send someone to take your name. Vicky's gonna talk to you.
Okay.
But you need to speak on the item. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. Sharon Fraser.
Good evening. Good afternoon. My
Good
name is
afternoon.
Sharon Fraser. I live at 6516 Northwest 12th Avenue. I really want to start going into having my address exempt because, thank you, Commissioner McGee, but they did retaliate against me. I'd like to thank PACD because I heard that Commissioner Bastine, Nathan came in at Senior Center last Thursday, and I took pictures with him. So you guys did come out there. But when I went to talk to the property management, the new property manager, Miss Nancy, I went there 5 times to no avail. The unit that they gave me was not up to par. But I'm just here to say thank you, Commissioner McGee and Chairman Bastine, because I heard about 15 of y'all was out there. They even came to my apartment and knocked on my door, but I wasn't home. But item 2B is about United States Housing Act. Commissioner Regalado, I support your item because I'm looking at United States Housing Act. And what happened is I talked with Mr. Lou. Thank you, Mr. Lou. We missed you at Liberty Square. And thank you, Mr. Nathan. But please, I appreciate you guys coming and doing like a orientation because those people do not know how to use those appliances, nothing, those amenities. And some of it is wear and tear. But Urban Related, they tried. They had a beautiful construction fair, like they said with the benefit packet. It was a construction job fair today from 9 to 3. It was a lot of vendors there. And then Monday, the Joseph Caleb Building, Community Action and Human Services, they did a veterans job fair. I took pictures of that. And if you need any, I can send you some, okay?
Thank you so much, Ms. Fraser.
I love you,
ha-
but I am Roy Hardiman. I am Roy Hardiman.
Thank
And we want to make sure, Commissioner McGee, that Model City CHC, the Neighborhood Revitalization Strategy Area, we meet on the third Wednesday.
Thank you.
At 6 o'clock, and we want to keep that going. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Passy Hughes.
Patsy,
Please, you signed to speak on 2B. I'm encouraging you to stay on the item, speak on the item that you signed for.
Okay, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
each and every one of you. I support item 2B, but I also wanted us to speak on something else too, which is housing. But if you say I'm only supposed to speak on that, I'm just going to say I support item 2B.
Thank you so much. Do you need some help? We can send someone to talk to you if you have
Okay.
something else to discuss.
I was here before, earlier on this year when I spoke to you, and you said for me to come to your office. And I
Okay,
came
someone
there,
is going to come and talk
never
to you,
got the
ma'am.
help.
Someone is going to come and talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that's, I don't think I have anyone else here. Actually, yes, Madam Holmes, Madam Renita Holmes.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Again, apologize. Madam Holmes, Wave of Women, District 5. I'm a little bit heartbroken about State Representative Roy Hardiman. I want to talk on 282B, so let me just take that. But if you just allow me a moment, the dedication, the stress, the heartfelt missions, the trips to Tallahassee. I am looking forward to you all paying a tribute to what I call the resident representative. But he's down at the bottom in the front line, but now he's resting, so please keep that in mind. I also thank you for keeping your word, and particularly you, Commissioner McGee, because I sent that to the BBC. I thought that was wonderful. You spoke my heart. But that's experience, and nothing has really happened in my situation because we're not necessarily public housing residents, although we're recipients of the federal funds in which we're asking for, particularly even with the Homeless Trust regarding, but the application of the priorities to those who are persons with disability and the distant, as the BBC 100 Resilient Woman in the Hood, it was quite a blessing to get some help to talk about the environmental improvements, particularly the HQS standards in public housing, the priorities of persons with disability in public housing, the interpretation of certain policies as to what is necessary to give us that safety, decent, and in situations, whether it's during a hurricane, a disaster, or just day-to-day living. And I'll talk about that to you some more. So I support 2B, but making sure that the federal regulations are applied when it comes to ADA, that's what you're hearing. There are federal regulations that say people with disabilities, that say certain persons with certain income need the policies to meet. There's a big gap, and I could tell you about that, but you talk about the Section 8, and let's remember public housing is moving towards Section 8. So the gap between the HQS inspection, in closing, the gaps to the inspections and the information and passing stuff and putting people in units that don't have basics says a lot about what we're focusing on.
Thank you, Madam Holmes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Seeing no one approaching, reasonable opportunity is now closed. Mr. Attorney, any changes, amendments to the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair, you have item 2C that's been added to your agenda related to Klein Nunn, Little River Plaza, and Little River Terrace Public Housing Developments, and item 3A, which is the resolution related to the selection of a fiscal agent to administer the rental assistance funding and funding for the county. Other than those two changes to your agenda, a motion to set the agenda is in order.
Move it.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, now the agenda has been set. Does anyone wish to bifurcate any of the items? Any of the items?
No, I just have a quick question about all of them. to the attorney. A while back, I passed an item about creating a standard agreement, and I know that we've been working on that. Are the items that we're passing today, are they gonna be able to use that standard agreement?
Both items contemplate a use of a lease and development agreement, which is being developed by the department. So I'm assuming that they will be using that form. Your item, by the way, relates to competitive bidding.
Right.
This is a non-competitive, but they will be using the form, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to mention to my colleagues. I just think, although my item was about competitive bidding and shrinking that process, these are not being competitively bid, but I think it would be beneficial to everyone if they were using the same form agreement, just because it makes it faster for us to move these deals. So that would be my only suggestion. I don't know if you want to add it to your items. I don't know if you just want to go with what staff is saying, but my recommendation would be to use the agreement that we've created. We've also vetted it. Staff has been really great. They've met with banks, so they vetted it with the financing piece, because that's one of the things that we get caught up in, right? So staff will approve an agreement, but then when you go to finance it, there's terms in those agreements that jam up the financing. So the idea of this was to vet all of that before we bring these agreements. So that would be my suggestion, but I'm happy to move all the items. I just recommend that you use that agreement. It might make your life easier.
Nate, can you speak to that, please?
Nathan Kogan, Housing and Community Development. And what I would say is, Chair Bastien, for your item, I would agree that we would want to use the standardized agreement for Commissioner McGee, because he has, the item is a little bit different. It's a for sale product, so that's going to look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I would recommend Commissioner Bastien that we would use that standard agreement for RAD redevelopment.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. So,
I second the motion.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything else, Mr. Attorney?
Yes,
Mr. Roy,
Mad-
hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Did you want to add something?
Yeah.
Chief,
Yeah.
I saw you raising your hand. Did you want to add anything?
Yes, ma'am. We would request that item 3A be waived to the November 18th board meeting at the department's request, please.
Actually, I'm asking for all of them to be waived. to the
I
next.
agree with that.
Yes, all right. Mr. Attorney,
Yes, each of those waivers are subject to the chair's approval. Also noted that item 2A and 2C are both public hearing items, so we would need to make sure that we have sufficient time to advertise the public hearing for those two items. Other than that, Madam Chair, a motion to adjourn the meeting is in order.
Did we vote? We have.
Yeah, did we vote?
we haven't voted yet.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we need to
Yes,
vote on
you still
everything.
need
All right.
I move everything.
I second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay.
Hey, Madam Chair, before we close, I just want to put something on the record as it relates to one of these, and I call him a dear friend of mine because I served with him in Tallahassee, Representative Hardiman. And to the Hardiman family, our sincere condolences are with you. If you know Roy, and if you knew Roy, Roy was a tireless effort provider for the community. He never backed down from a fight when it came down to his community, Ponciana and other areas. I've seen Roy advocate on behalf of his community day in and day out in Tallahassee. But the one thing I can honestly say about Roy, he knew how to get things done. And that's why we appreciated him so much in Tallahassee. And then to come here on this county commission, to see him do what he does best as far as advocating for his community, it was really a sweet moment because we knew we had a real advocate on the front line. And lastly, and I'm going to say this every time I get the opportunity, I never want anyone to underestimate the power of voices that are coming from those podiums. We oftentimes think, again, because these individuals come here often, that it's just another way of them speaking on issues that are not important to the masses, but only important to them. I beg to differ. Whenever you hear individuals, especially in the housing committee, speaking, they are conveying the trauma that they're experiencing in those areas, in those housing projects, in those communities that have been subject to depreciation in value, depreciation in resources, and depreciation in just hope. And so whenever they speak, I just hope everyone understands the importance of what they're saying, because they are telling us not a political word of trauma, but what trauma truly entails. And we heard today the drug dealing, the lack of resources, the faulty items within these homes, the lack of communication from those who should be held responsible. Those are all forms of trauma. And until we address those things, we're going to continuously have trauma in our communities, thereby forcing people to be in a position that they shouldn't have to be in. So I just wanted to put that on the record and say I see you and I thank you. You keep advocating. We're up here and we're going to keep pushing this needle as far as we can and bending this arc towards justice for you, because we know for a fact if this was happening inside of any other community in Miami-Dade County, it wouldn't even be up for debate. But because it's happening in certain neighborhoods and certain zip codes, we want to debate. And it's things that we want to debate are senseless, because everybody, in my humble opinion, should be in a position to receive quality housing. But again, based on the zip code and based on past traumas, we know that certain things are taking longer in certain neighborhoods. And we talk about every day on the radio, on TV, and in the media, we give this impression that we really want to fight this thing called poverty. But you really can't fight poverty until you first deal with the trauma. And you really can't deal with the trauma until you actually recognize the people who are going through the trauma. And you really can't recognize the people going through the trauma until you sit down and talk with them about the trauma. And you really can't speak with them about the trauma until you educate yourself about what is trauma. So at the end of the day, conversations that are being had from that podium, they're not just words. They are trauma truths that have to be recognized, and this body should be the one on the front lines ensuring that that trauma, we reduce that amount of trauma and or eradicate it fully from that community. So those are my few words, Madam Chair, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I concur with you, Mr. Vice Chair, and that is why last week I was very proud to have a big delegation under the leadership of Nathan and staff. We went and visited all this housing that our speakers referred to, and I was very proud to have this opportunity to see with my own eyes. When you came, you spoke, I heard you, and I told you that I would do it, that I would go and then see with my own eyes what's going on, and I did. And then I'd like to thank you, Nathan, and then the entire delegation, and also members of the related group who assisted us to make sure that we were able to see what was going on. And then this is not going to end there. We're going to continue to make sure that your voices are heard and that every voice is heard and represented, and then that follow-up is done just like we did. In the case of Roy Alderman, I couldn't end this meeting to state that that he was one of our most active residents. Few days ever pass without him visiting our office, offering his support, volunteering for our events. What saddened me most is the fact that he spent so many years trying to bring to life the Ponciana development. He brought so much support to that project. And then when we finally got it together, he passed. He will not be able to see something that he so passionately fought for so many years. This saddens me beyond measure. But God knows, his memory, his lasting memory will be of someone who didn't just talk the talk, but also walk the walk, and then made sure that he took part in everything that was going on in District 2, offering his services, not waiting to be called, always there for events, always there to support. Roy Alderman, may you rest in peace and power. With that, I'll ask for
Move.
someone to
Motion.
To adjourn.
adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miami-Dade County has launched Shore Power here at Port Miami. This allows cruise ships to turn off their engines and connect to landside electrical power while docked. Plug into this edition of What's New in Our County to see how shore power at the cruise capital